guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
What's up, it's Sleepy P. This is the Sleepy Shell Core. Welcome to today's video. Before we go on, do not forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss, well, you don't miss anything. Who says I don't tell you what's going on? So today we are going to be looking at this prick. This is Jamie Oliver. For those of you who don't know what Jamie Oliver is, he's a fat-tongued British chef who spoils things for people. Yes, that's right. Jamie Oliver is ruining Britain. But, oh, God, I hate this guy so much. Because of Jamie Oliver and his taxes and him wanting everybody to eat healthily, the price of fun food like Cocoa Pops and Coca-Cola has nearly tripled over the last few years. So thanks for that, Jamie. You're ruining everything.
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
One of the things that gets me about Jamie Oliver is he's like this famous chef and everything, but he doesn't have any Michelin stars. Now, I don't know a lot about chefing, or cooking for that matter, but I'm pretty sure that one of the ways you can tell how good a chef is how many Michelin stars he's got. And Jamie hasn't got any. Do you know why? Because his restaurants suck, just like Jamie. So Jamie Oliver he's a campaigner, he's a warrior, and he's always trying to fight the government and ruin everything for everybody. Jamie Oliver, sugar tax could fund school meals. So what he's suggesting is that anything that's got sugar in it or is nice to eat should be taxed even more, and then all that money taken from that food and spent on free meals for kids. Now, I don't know. I mean, this is probably a bad take, and I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for this. But I'm just wondering why people are having children if they can't afford to feed them meals. I don't know, leave a comment, let me know. But why should I be paying for somebody else's child's meals? Shouldn't they be paying for those child's meals? Just a thought. Anyway, fuck you, Jamie Oliver. Now, one of the things that nobody can figure out here is why does Jamie Oliver always get an easy ride? This was an article by Christopher Snowden, and I was like, oh, thank God, somebody's actually said what I was thinking. So why does Jamie Oliver always get an easy ride? Let's have a look, fat prick. There are many annoying things about the celebrity chef Jamie Oliver, but none of them grates my gears as much as the media's acquiescence towards him. I suspect that his political campaigning is largely a self-serving gimmick to keep the Jamie Oliver brand in the public eye, but that is besides the point. I mean, Jamie Oliver does need to stay in the public eye. Every year he brings a glut of cookbooks out and they sell in their millions. Shame his shitty restaurants went bust, but there you go. The point is that he'd be the first to describe himself as an activist, and yet he's never asked the questions that activists, let alone politicians, are asked. He gets the celebrity interview when he should be getting the political interview. He's never been hauled up on the facts. He's never been given a grilling. Hardened journalists become starstruck in the presence of a man who, in media circles, if not the country at large, is regarded as a national treasure. And I cannot figure this out. Why is he a national treasure? He's just a fat, useless prick. Oliver has had such an easy ride from the BBC over the years that it was not much of a stretch to make him guest editor of the Today programme on Tuesday. The civility was no different from usual, it was just more concentrated. 3 long hours of unfiltered Jamie Oliver, lightened only by occasional stories about COVID-19 in China and snowstorms in the US. For the duration, Radio 4's news bulletins carried no fewer than 3 Oliver-related news items. Jamie Oliver wants free school meals extended. A pressure group wants mandatory limits on the sugar content of baby food. George Osborne wishes the government would hurry up and ban adverts for junk food. It was like a normal episode of the Today programme, but more so. We were treated to a spokesman for Jamie Oliver's pressure group Bite Back 2030, asking teenage members of Bite Back 2030 what they thought of the food environment. Not unsurprisingly, the Bite Backers said that unhealthy food was too cheap, too available, and too widely advertised. So fucking what? We heard from a local director of public health who agreed with all of this and wanted to ban junk food adverts at bus stops. Yesterday's men Tony Blair, George Osborne and Mark Carney also broadly agreed. Osborne was particularly enthusiastic, saying that he wished he'd extended his sugar levy to non-sugary products, with the possible exception of an American pastor who, during Thought for the Day, mentioned the importance of personal agency and explained how members of the community had lost weight without any government coercion. Not a single person in the 180 minutes of broadcasting disagreed with Oliver's prescription of more taxes, subsidies and regulation to tackle obesity. People are fucking fat because they're greedy. I love Coca-Cola, I love sugar puffs, I love Pop-Tarts, I like sweet things, I've got a sweet tooth. You should see what I can do to a pile of pancakes with maple syrup or a cheesecake. It's obscene. But I'm not obese. Do you know why? Because I know when to fucking stop. And I don't need Jamie Oliver telling me what and when I can eat it, and that I should pay for some fucking somebody else's responsibility.
He's a monster.
My contempt for the guest editor notwithstanding, it made for an unsatisfying and rather tedious listening experience. I have no strong feeling about Oliver's latest campaign to extend free school dinners to any child whose parents receive universal credit, but I'd like to hear the case against it. Isn't universal credit set at a level that allows parents to feed their children? If not, why not? George Osborne raised the question of how much policy would cost and how it would be paid for, but no answer was given. Now, I can guarantee that these parents who are on universal credit that can't afford to feed their own fucking children are buying cigarettes and drinking alcohol, but I still have to pay for their fucking kids' dinner. Why is this? In the absence of opposing viewpoints, it was up to the presenters to probe and scrutinise. They could have asked whether the sugary levy led to any reduction in obesity, for instance. It doesn't. They could have asked whether Oliver's successful crusade for school dinner reform 15 years ago has led to any measurable improvement in children's health. It hasn't. And they could have asked him to define junk food. They could have asked George Osborne whether his sudden decision to introduce a sugar tax in the 2016 budget was driven by his concerns about children's health, as he now claims, or was a dead cat to distract the media from government missing all its economic targets, as was widely believed at the time. If they'd felt mischievous, they could have asked Oliver whether the total collapse of his restaurant empire in 2018 was a public verdict on him and his cooking, and yes it was. Everybody's so sick of Jamie Oliver ruining shit they won't eat at his restaurants, ergo they go bust. There was none of that. Even the most blatantly false claims went unchallenged. It's not true, for example, that baby food is totally unregulated. Nor is it true that the sugar tax created more choice. At one point, Oliver even asserted, without rebuke, that the $300 million a year cost of the sugar tax is not passed on to consumers. Of course it's passed on to consumers, you fucking retard. By the end of the show, he was wibbling about some sort of conspiracy involving Big Food Inc., who was supposedly silencing all their critics. Jamie Oliver is a tool, and the fact that we listen to him because he's done a couple of interesting TV shows just shows how fucked society is. Fuck you, Jamie Oliver, and the horse you rode in on. This is the Sleepy Shellcore. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts about the fat-tongued penis in the comments. I'm sure I will get back to you. Fight me on Twitter. Just look up Sleepy Shellcore. Look forward to the next video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out.